Let me give you a warning. If you're ever in a room late at night and the clock starts ticking backward, leave immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't look back. It doesn't matter whose room it is. The rule is always the same. You'll want to rationalize it. A joke, a dream, a mechanical glitch. But the moment you stay to watch, you've already lost. I know this because I didn't leave. I stayed. I watched. And now I'm telling you so you might be wiser. The old grandfather clock in my study was a family heirloom, always reliable, until it wasn't. Curiosity is a trap. Your mind will invent explanations, but none of them are true. You'll laugh, you'll reason, but that's how it gets you. If the hands move left, you move to the door. Don't stop until sunrise. Don't try to be a hero or a scientist. Some things aren't meant to be understood. Survival means running away. That's your only move. Please remember that. If you ever hear the backward ticking, don't wait. Don't try to solve it. Just leave. That's the only way to survive. I wish someone had told me. It happened on a Tuesday, April 22nd. I was working late, the house silent, except for the steady tick-tock of the grandfather clock. Midnight approached. The clock chimed 12 times, echoing through the stillness. I paused, listening to the ritual end of my day. The final chime faded, and I reached for my cold coffee. That's when I noticed something was off. The familiar tick-tock was gone, replaced by tock-tick. The sound was reversed. I froze, listening as the clock's rhythm moved backward. My eyes darted to the clock's face in the dim light. The minute hand, just at 12, crept left, counterclockwise. It passed the first minute marker, then the second. A cold knot formed in my stomach. This was impossible. Clocks don't just run in reverse. I searched for a logical explanation, but the unease grew. The hand kept moving backward, deliberate and slow. I wanted to believe it was a malfunction, but the dread was real. The clock was unwinding time, and I was trapped in its silent backward march. I stared, unable to look away. The night had changed, and so had I. I laughed nervously. A clock ticking backward? Absurd. I stood, stretching, convincing myself it was a mechanical issue. The tock-tick grew louder as I approached the clock. I peered through the glass. The minute and second hands moved steadily in reverse. "Okay, old friend," I muttered. "What's wrong with you?" Maybe a gear slipped, or a weight jammed. I decided to leave it for the night and call a repairman in the morning. That plan gave me comfort, a box to put the strangeness in. I turned away, ready to shut down my computer and go to bed. But the tock-tick followed me, echoing just behind my ears. I shook my head. Just tired, I told myself. It was only a sound. It couldn't hurt me, just a glitch in time. But the feeling of being watched had already begun to take root, and I couldn't shake it. Back at my desk, a heavy silence settled over the room. Usual night sounds vanished. No hum, no creaks, no wind. Only the relentless tock-tick remained, louder than ever. The air felt thick, hard to breathe. Shadows deepened, pressing in on my small circle of light. I tried to focus on my work, but the words blurred and scattered. The silence was a void, filled only by the backward beat of the clock. Tock-tick, tock-tick. A chill crept up my spine, a coldness from within. The room felt alien, hostile. Every object seemed unfamiliar, threatening. The clock kept unwinding the night. I wrapped my arms around myself, but the cold remained. I was no longer at home. The ticking wasn't just in the room anymore. It was inside me. A pulse at the base of my skull, tock-tick, tock-tick. I pressed my hands to my temples, but the sound persisted. It was a parasite, burrowing into my mind. Nausea and dread churned in my stomach. My heartbeat tried to compete, but the backward ticking pulled it off rhythm. This wasn't a broken clock. It was a violation. Reality felt thin, frayed. My thoughts fractured, slipping away like sand. The ticking erased my ability to think, replacing my thoughts with its rhythm. My limbs felt heavy, my body leaden. The dread was alive, whispering that I was trapped. The room became a prison, the clock its warden. Something was coming, and I could only sit and listen as my sanity unraveled. Then, a whisper cut through the silence, a voice, chillingly familiar. It was my own, but not me. "Don't turn around," it warned, inches from my ear. My body froze, terror rooting me in place. The command was absolute, a desperate plea from some hidden part of myself. Was it exhaustion? A hallucination? It felt too real. The whisper was an intrusion, wearing my voice. It echoed in my mind, repeating, "Don't turn around." The empty space behind me was now filled with a terrifying presence. My imagination conjured horrors in the shadows. The urge to turn was overwhelming, a physical ache, but I was paralyzed by fear and curiosity. My computer screen, now dark, reflected the room, a black mirror. I saw myself, pale and frightened, but something was wrong. The reflection was distorted, centered on me. The man in the glass looked like me, but wasn't. His eyes were cold, his smile predatory. It was a smile of ownership, not a reflection, but an observer. My blood ran cold. The figure was a hollow double, empty and amused. The whisper came again, this time from the reflection. "It remembers you." The dread shifted, from the sound to the presence to him. I was trapped, mesmerized by the cobra's gaze. The reflection was a window into something else, and I was the unwilling player in its game. Staring at the smiling imposter, déjà vu washed over me, broken, fragmented. Flashes of memory flickered, this room, this clock, but from another perspective. The whisper returned, a chorus of my own voice. "This has happened before. You just don't remember." The clock wasn't just unwinding the night, it was unwinding me. Memories slipped away with each talk tick. The smiling man grew stronger as I faded. This was a cycle, a loop. I'd been here before, forgotten each time. The whisper confirmed it. Every time you look, you forget. You forget the promise. The promise not to turn around. The promise to leave. I'd broken it, again and again. I was trapped in a nightmare of my own making, and the horror was absolute. The urge to turn around became unbearable, a desperate act of defiance. If I was doomed to repeat this, I wanted to see it. The whisper pleaded, "Don't do it, you'll start it all over again." Another voice, cold and smiling, urged me on. "Turn around, see what you become." I was caught between survival and the need to know. The talk tick was a countdown. My heart hammered, breath ragged. The reflection waited, eyes wide with anticipation. With a cry, I spun around, eyes shut. For a moment, silence. No ticking, no whispers, no pressure. Pure peace. Then I opened my eyes. He was there, my perfect duplicate, smiling that cold, predatory smile. He looked at me and everything snapped back. The room returned to normal. The clock chimed once, forward. I was alone. I scrambled away, heart pounding. The grandfather clock was still, carved into its wood. "You looked this time." The cycle had begun again. And I remembered the warning, too late.